We talked about him last week. Darian Mensah. He has reached a mutual agreement with Duke to get rid of his contract and hit the portal. And it looks like Mensah will be going to the U officially here in the next couple of hours or days, whenever it finally gets announced. But it looks like that Mensah and Duke have mutually parted ways and have agreed to a settlement. So maybe Mensa might have to pay back some of the university, which again I think is a very fair thing. And I think I think some of these mid majors should start doing that. Start putting some tags on some of these players. But it looks like Darian Mensa also moving to a bigger team, and I think they might actually they probably play each other this year. Obviously, being in the same
Mm-hmm.
conference in the ACC.
ACC.
Let's see if it's up. Um, they will. They will indeed play each other on November 14th.
Wow. All right.
Should be
Well, I
interesting.
mean, I agree, and I think these, the legal battles in college athletics, we're only going to see more of them when it comes to players and player movement. Something has to give, and much like we were talking about earlier, with one of those things, Major League Soccer and the USL, them merging is only a matter of time. Another matter of time conversation that I keep having with myself is the bubble when it comes to NIL
It's gonna
and
burst at some point.
paying players money. It's going to blow up. It's going to burst. Something is going to give, and I think, normally I don't cheer for the organization over the player. Like, that is even leading up to NIL, in independent conversations and talking to other people that I know that have been around the college game. There was always an idea of paying college athletes was another one of those inevitable things. Like, it was going to happen. Like, you can't realistically expect these kids to go to college for 4 years, not work an actual job to where they don't actually make any money or any sort of income or build any sort of credit themselves. All they do is play a sport, and you just pay for their education, you hand them a degree, and you send them on their way. That degree is only worth so much. I understand that it's valuable to have it, but I think, as we've seen lately, people are like, it's not necessarily a guarantee. Maybe once upon a time when our parents were coming up, it was a guarantee that you'll have a job and that you'll at least be able to build something of your life. Now, a degree, yes, it is far better than not having one. It doesn't guarantee you anything, right? So to bring these kids in and to get all this labor out of them and extract them and make the money off of their backs and not pay them anything, it was wild to a lot of people. So we knew that paying players was going to happen. It was an inevitable thing. But now that we've gone so far extreme to the other side, we also know that there's something inevitable at the end of this, which is this bubble will burst, right? The portion of college programs that are not able to compete or keep up, despite how hard they want to try, or who they bring in, or whatever else it is that they do, there's going to be a break, a split in college athletics at some point. But at the very least, the schools themselves are starting to stand up for themselves a little bit and go, hey, you know what? This is getting This is getting utterly ridiculous.
I think the NCAA
Um,
is starting to stand up a little bit too. We've seen
yeah,
Trinidad Chambliss not be granted a sixth year or seventh, I don't remember what. And we also seen the UVA program or
yeah,
UVA quarterback not be granted a sixth or seventh year, eighth year. I don't even know which these
ninth
quarterbacks
year,
are.
yeah,
And I think that those are I think they're starting to. I think the NCAA is starting to stand up for itself, starting to prove that they do have some balls. I mean, I don't know how long it'll continue, but I mean, at some
yeah.
point, I mean, if you're a college athlete, like I get it. It's probably a whole money thing. I'm sure that's why Trinidad. Who was the Virginia quarterback? This year, but at some point, I think that we will have a governing body. Chandler Morris is his name. I feel like at some point we will have a governing body, and some we'll actually have some restrictions on things. But I think at some point we'll get there. It just might take a little bit of time, and I think when we're gonna look back on the years of 2022 to 2026 now, probably 2027, we're going to be like, this happened, this happened. And I will say this,
Yeah.
again, this isn't a bold take or nothing. I think at some point, I think football will be football in terms of the conferences and the teams will be its own thing, because I think at some point, because the basketball coaches have started to express this, that this whole conference realignment thing is the dumbest thing there is. And I think we're
Yeah.
going to go back to some traditional way in terms of all the other sports. I think football will remain at what it is now because, I mean, you're traveling once a week. It's not like basketball, soccer, baseball, softball, where you're traveling multiple times in the week. You're
Yep.
staying out. You're staying out on the West Coast or the East Coast multiple weeks. So I think
Yep.
at some point we're going to see that. That's just again matter of time, but I think at
Yep.
some point we are going to see that, and I think it'll be good to see.
Why is it that we can't figure out a system in which football can be a part of one conference and everybody else can be a part of a different conference or a different sort of alignment?
Because football
Like,
is its own money making machine. It
I
stands
get
on its
it.
own.
So, right. So to that point, maybe we need to, like you were saying, just make it its own entity. Like, it is football itself. That's literally why you can get into some of these places, some of these other sports. Like you think about the University of Michigan. Honestly, if I was you and I lived closer and I had a free weekend during like a stretch of the school year where I knew there was stuff going on, like, honestly, I would just go to the campus and just walk around because like there's certain things you can get in and go watch for
Depends
free
time of the
or
year.
for it. Well, yeah, that's true. But it like for extremely discounted rates, go watch high-end sports, other sports, mostly because football makes all the money. But football makes all the money.
I don't
So
think people are walking and taking out of their free time to go watch Michigan field hockey. No
you don't
disrespect,
want
but
to
I
go
don't
watch
think
Michigan baseball?
they're
Come
not
on, man.
good. They're
Yeah,
not
they're all
good.
right.
The
They're all
North
right.
sucks. The North sucks.
They
I
got
was
two
gonna say
World Series championships.
when was
Two. I
that?
think they've been to two, I think. They've been to two or they've won two.
Yeah,
The
but then
60s.
Ward
But who's
effed it up
counting?
again. Ward effed it up again. He let the coach go to Clemson, and like, who's good? Clemson. All the coach wanted again. I don't know his name. I can recognize his face. All the coach wanted was
You don't want to
a
go watch some softball?
no. By the
What about
way,
lacrosse?
nope, not doing that. No,
Why? Why?
uh,
It's like hockey,
Nate.
but you're just running around.
Some people don't. Some people aren't sports addicts like yourself and I. And
What
I'm
about
a
soccer?
sports addict when it comes to the big sports. You're sports addicts for it all. Like I'm not here to watch lacrosse and field hockey and all that fun stuff. You might be doing that, but I don't think a lot of people in the Ann Arbor area are gonna wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm gonna walk over to field hockey and watch field hockey and spend
You want to watch
$10.
cricket?
Well, I could have
Go watch
if you
a
go
cricket
to
match together.
if anyone's watching, if you do want to go watch free cricket, go to Mount Pleasant. There's an apartment complex just north of campus where the Indian exchange students play cricket in the apartment parking complex like every single day. So if you do want to go do that, go to Mount Pleasant. You can get a game for free. You can just sit in the parking lot and watch them play. That's all I gotta say.
Sick. All right.
But no,
We're gonna go watch swimming and diving together. How about that?
You can do that.
I'm gonna get tickets. We'll go watch the divers.
I've got better things to do than watch swim and dive. But no, I think
Anyways,
I think football will
yeah.
be its own thing. It's gonna be its own thing, and it's like we should just call basically what it is. It's the NFL light. That's what it is. You can't say a minor league
Right.
system because the teams don't go directly. The players and teams, the colleges don't go direct. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if like Michigan football was like the Lions like
Affiliate?
yeah, that'd be hilarious. Or like Ohio State. The Browns would become good, except at the quarterback position, but Ohio State would be an affiliate for the Browns, and you think
Yeah.
like Cal, UCLA for the Rams and the Chargers, like. But no, I think we're gonna be moving in terms of the college game. I think we're going to be moving to with just football directly. I think football will eventually just become its own thing.